how important is your cash flow? And that's a question that I've been lately really pondering upon, because I've been working with some clients that have absolutely no clue about how much money they have, how much money they spend, how much money they spend on their supplier or on their subscription or anything like that. And so the first answer to anything when it's about an investment that they have to make to their company is like, oh yeah, but I don't have the cash, or, it's quite expensive and I'm not sure I have the money for that and everything. And I'm quite baffled by that because, just this week, and it's a beautiful life, riveting life of being an entrepreneur, is that I spent 1 hour doing an Excel spreadsheet for myself. Basically, I have this huge Excel where I have all my expenses, I have all my invoices. It's quite, when you look about it, quite boring. And I know that we didn't go into business to do Excel spreadsheet and to do processes and to do operation and to send emails and to build landing pages and to do stuff like that. But the thing that we have to remember is that at the end of the day, a business only exists because it makes money. If it doesn't make any money, if the goal is not at a certain point to make money, whether it's for ourselves or whether it's for someone else because we have a job, the business has to make money. Without money, there is no pay. And so we can't survive without money, right? We live in a capitalist world, whether we like it or not, that's the situation we're in. And so in the riveting life of being an entrepreneur this week, I was working with this client and I was like, how much do you earn right now? What is the thing that is bringing you money? And they had absolutely no clue. So what I did exactly what I did for myself. I made a huge Excel spreadsheet containing everything that they do, every source of income that they have, every expense that they have, how they should look at it, what it's the impact of everything, and also to see the fluctuation and all that. Now, the cool thing about that is that, first of all, they noticed how much they were earning and also how much it was fluctuating month to month, which is quite an amazing thing. The second thing that is really cool that we didn't notice, and this is what is quite insane, is that they didn't notice, for example, the lifetime value of a customer, or they didn't notice, other things like that. And I know it sounds boring, but because we don't want to okay, we're building a business and lifetime value and all that, it's for the geeks and for the people that do data. But this is why those businesses are working. And so what I was looking with them is how we can improve their business. And so one of the things that we did is that we changed, for example, some part of our subscription. And by changing some part of our subscription, right now, after just 2 months, they're making 2K more MRR, by the way, so recurring, 2K more recurring than they are doing before I started to work with them. Just because we look at data. And I will be able to enter into the details on how I made that and what is the analysis that I did for that. But I want to stay on the cash flow, right? Because a business is really simple. There is an input, there is an output. Whatever you do, a client comes in, a client goes out. There is an input, there is an output. It comes in a certain situation, it comes out in another situation. Someone uses your product, he comes out with an expectation, he comes in with an expectation, he goes out with a transformation, yes or no. You are bored, you want to watch a movie, you start Netflix, you watch the movie, then after that, you're not bored anymore, and you do something else. Now, a business, the way it works is exactly the same thing with money. And you work exactly the same way with money. Having total control on your money helps you do so many things, because you can leverage that money for your business. You can leverage that money for what you're trying to do. So personally, give you an example, I want to create a future. If I control the money that I have in my business, it means I can pay myself more. It means also, for example, that I can decide to invest in coaches. I can decide to invest in training. I can decide to invest in travel. I can put some money on things that will develop my business. And this is what most of the people don't think of. If you're spending all your money and you don't know what is inside your business, you're basically living paycheck to paycheck. It's a lifestyle activity, it's not a business. And also, it's something really simple that you have to check, is that is your business growing or is your business declining? Because it's only the two choices. There is no status quo, there is no in between. It's whether it's growing, whether it's declining. And the best way to do that is to check if your revenue is growing. Now, it's not just revenue, because you can also check the fact that what is your profit doing? Because there is a lot of different business. There is a lot of business that I want to have. I don't want to have just a YouTube channel, for example, where I have a full team working with me, with researcher and everything. I really admire like what some people are doing, like Ali Abdal or Dan Coe or those kind of people, but they have a team working for them and it's just way too much hassle. Because on top of it, you can't stop because you have this team working for you, so you need to be capable to continue the job. It's not something that you can stop suddenly to do. My business, for example, is me alone, right? So all the profit I'm making are for me. Now, what does that mean? It means that, for example, I can take money out in dividends, for example, and I can buy stocks with it. And so since last year, I double my assets because I control the money and I'm careful about how I spend and everything. And because I'm developing the assets, the cool thing is that I'm guaranteeing myself a future, whatever happens in my business. It's the same thing for other stuff, like controlling your expense and all that. It's a way for you to control basically your future. And I see a lot of people that don't want to do that because they say stuff, oh yeah, but I'm not good at math, or because I'm not good at Excel, or because I'm not, it's excuses for me. I want to do something else than doing like 1 hour of Excel during the week. When I sometimes talk about the riveting life of being an entrepreneur is really bad, I don't want to do that. It's something else I want to do, especially but the other day, when I was looking into it, there was a formula that was wrong and I couldn't see it. It didn't make any sense in the number I was getting at the end. So I had to go back in it, and just for like 30 minutes, I was validating every formula that was inside my Excel spreadsheet. But so what I want to reach out is that maybe it's because, I come from a background where my parents didn't have a lot of money, so it was quite the struggle all the time to be sure we could go on vacation. We were only going to our family in Portugal. We were only doing a certain type of things. And maybe it's because of that, but I really care about the money I'm making. And sometimes when I talk to people and I see what they do with their business, and I see people online, I have a feeling they don't care. I have a feeling they make money, but then after that, they just give it away. Like they give it to suppliers that don't do their job. They give it to people, they pay for something monthly where they get no services for it. They don't know how much money it's bringing them. They buy things that don't bring them anything, that they can't leverage. And I'm not saying like don't be materialistic. I want to buy myself an Aston Martin. That's one of my goals. I want to buy a house, obviously, those kind of things. I want to have multiple houses in the world and all that. I'm not saying don't be materialistic. Don't get me wrong here. But there is a difference. Is it strategic and for you what you're doing, or is it just a waste? Because this is a huge difference. And I know it sounds a little bit like a rant, but it's because like this week I was just, in good English, flabbergasted by the amount of money and the decision that people can take that doesn't make any sense to me. So in all cases, thank you for listening to me, and see you in the next topic.